Hey guys, got another home video for us to get stretching. So this one's a little bit longer, a bit of strength and length involved. Right, Symone had physie. But hope you enjoy. Let me know how you go. And again, listen to your body. Keep breathing because there are a few strong postures and challenging ones potentially for us. But hope you love it, and I'll see you soon. Let's start. Okay guys, let's start today on our backs. So lying down on the floor and legs out just below, in line with the hips. Draw the shoulder blades under and down the back of the rib cage so the upper arm bones splay out, and we'll just take a breath for a moment. So in, all the way down to the belly, let the belly come up and forward. Exhale, let it go. Keep breathing, inhale all the way down to the belly. Fill up the lungs nice and full. And exhale, let it go. Keep going with these deep belly breaths, and it might seem a bit silly if this is something you haven't done before, but this type of breathing, this deep kind of low lung breathing, allows the diaphragm to move down so that the lungs can actually expand fully, and that tells our body that we're in a bit of a relaxed state, rather than those short, shallow breaths which are up in the upper chest and the shoulders go up. That tells our body that we're in an emotional or perhaps a fight or flight, stressful state. So this can be a really good tool to use, especially with before hitting the floor at physie comps, especially if you're someone that finds that nerves get the better of you. Together we'll take a breath in. Exhale, release. Perfect. From here we'll flex the feet up towards the ceiling, or even harder so that they come back towards the body, and draw in the belly button to the spine. So kind of like a 50% activation of the core, not clenching. And we'll take an inhale, bend the right knee, bring it to the chest and take a hold. Exhale, nose towards the knee. Keep the feet flexed. Inhale, drop the head. Exhale, release the leg. And onto the other side. Inhale, left knee to chest. Exhale. Inhale, head goes down. Exhale, release. One more time on each side, and feel free to close your eyes this time and follow your breath in. Knee up. Exhale, nose up towards knee. Inhale, drop it down. Exhale, release. Other side. Excellent. We'll keep moving with that right knee coming towards the chest, inhale. And then as we exhale, right arm goes out to a T, left hand guides the right knee over to the left side. Spinal twist. Right shoulder blade stays on the ground. Inhale back to center. Exhale, release. And we'll go for the other side. Left knee to chest. Inhale back to center. Exhale, release. We'll keep moving similarly, but now with the feet, or rather the legs straight. So firstly, inhale. Right leg up towards the ceiling, and really kick the heel in towards the ceiling. The feet are nice and flexed. That might mean this knee is nice and bent, and that's totally cool. That's on the inhale. As we exhale, we'll bring the head and nose, I'm going to say up towards the foot, so we're not crunching here, but really lengthening the spine and stretching through that back column. Inhale, drop the head, and exhale, release the leg. Other side, inhale, left leg to ceiling. Flex both feet nice and strong. Exhale. Inhale, release. And exhale, release the leg. Keep that core activation so it's nice and controlled. Other side again. Inhale. One more time, we'll go for the left leg. Excellent. From here, we'll inhale, bring both knees into the chest. Take a hold. And you can point the feet here if you like. Exhale, nose towards the knees. Take a hold of the feet if you've got that availability today. Otherwise, feel free to hold the top of the shins. Stay here and take a deep breath in. Feel the back body. Exhale, release the neck. From here, we'll take hold of the back of the thighs. And we're going to do a couple of rolls on our back. So if you're on a hard surface, feel free to roll to the side to come to a sitting. And if your spine's feeling okay today, feel free to roll up and down the spine. Really tucking the chin in though, so we're in kind of like this half wall shape. 2 or 3 rolls, and then we'll come to a nice seat. So legs out, again hip socket width apart, flex the feet back, and we'll go for some isolated toe movements. So just the top of the toes, release, squeeze, release, squeeze, release, squeeze and hold, and let go. And now we'll go for points. So from the ankle, and actually these points come from, all the way up our legs. So as you flex, feel the whole quads tone, and as you point, feel it come through the back. So the calves are what points our feet and our toes. And so you can recognize how pointing through anything that you're doing in physie as well is a whole leg thing. And we'll point and hold, and we'll go for some rotation. So we'll point as we're down, and really articulate and flex and open the toes as we go out. Really work on some control there, these little muscles in their feet. And pause, and we'll go the other way. And release. You can feel free to stay there. I'll just face you for this one. We'll go for us to set up our rock the baby to open up the hips. So bend your left leg into your chest, sit up nice and tall, sit bones firmly into the ground, and then keep this foot nice and flexed to protect the knee. You can take hold of the foot here, or if it's available, into the right crease of the elbow there. Sitting up nice and tall. We'll go for some little movements. So as we inhale, we'll open out towards your left. Exhale, come back to center. Inhale. Just little movements here to start waking up the hips. Keep that foot flexed, especially the one that's in your hands. And then we'll release. Other side, right knee into the chest, keep it flexed. Sit up nice and tall, both sit bones on the ground, and open. You might even just find a little bit of movement depending on how your hips are feeling today, but continue to breathe because those muscles around our hips are ones that tend to tighten as we hold our breath especially. So keep breathing through all of these movements. Perfect. From here we'll come on to our tabletop position, so wrists directly below the shoulders, knees below the hips, and we'll push the ground away from us as we start our cat-cow position. So inhale to drop the belly, lift the tailbone and the chest towards the front of you. Exhale, it starts from the tailbone going down, belly to spine, and then stretch the skin through the shoulder blades. Inhale, move the other way. A couple more like this, following your own breath, and you might want to close your eyes to really tune into it. Excellent. After your next exhalation, in the cow position, or the cat position rather, we'll meet back at neutral. And we'll continue moving in a similar way through our tiger pose. So this is where our weight is evenly around all 4 points at this stage. And as we lift up, the weight's distributed evenly along the 3 points. So the heel kicks back, hug the lower ribs in, we start the inhale there, and it continues up, shoulders away from the ears. And then as we exhale, we'll kick the heel back again, so the spine, so think about your head going straight up in front of you and your heel going to the back, so your spine's nice and lengthened. and then continue the exhale, knee towards the nose. One more time, heel kicks back to lengthen. Take a deep breath in, open the chest. Exhale, heel kicks back, and then crunch. Knee to nose. One more time this leg. And release and go for the other side. So reset the weight. Weight's even, especially in the two wrists there, so we're not leaning off it. Heels back and toes are toned down to keep the hips squared. Continue the inhale, open the chest, shoulders away from the ears. Exhale, lengthen, and then bring knee towards nose. A couple more times. Come back to center, and we'll sit back onto the heels, stretch out into extended child's pose, and feel free to roll the wrists here, give them a bit of a rest, and you might be feeling quite warm and weighted down. And from here we'll come forward for a second so we can curl the toes under, and then push the mat away, so you're stretching this mat between your knees and your palms. From here, we'll lift the tailbone up towards the ceiling, really pushing the ground away. So it's a real active position here in our first downward dog. It might mean that your knees are really bent and your heels are off the ground. That's totally cool. But this way we're working our muscles and not our joints to stretch. Keep breathing here. Relax the head, belly button to spine, and keep the shoulders away from the ears. So it's a constant kind of process that we're checking in. Wrists pushing away and the weight's even. And then we'll slowly start to walk it forward, keeping the knees bent as much as you need to, until we're in this comfortable forward fold. Feel free to take a hold of the elbows if you like, and just hang. Let the head and spine be loose. Move around if that feels comfortable for you, or you might find that you want to move forward and back into the heels and find how that gets different stretches of the back of the legs. And we'll release the arms and slowly roll it up, coming up to standing. Nice work. From here we'll move to the front of our mat and set up for a bit of a warm-up for the body, so sun salutations. So if you haven't done something like this before, I'll go through the first couple of rounds through in a little bit more description. But if you've done it before, feel free to close your eyes and move at your own pace if that suits. So together we'll roll the shoulder blades down. Bring the bottom of the rib cage and the top of the hip bones towards each other, so not crunching, but just slightly activating. Legs are nice and active. Feet are spread and the weight's even. And together we'll take a deep breath in, scoop the arms forward, up and back, gentle back bend. As we exhale, we'll hinge from the hips and forward fold, keep the knees bent, palms towards the floor, and head towards the feet. Inhale, we'll take the right leg back, step the right knee down, and square the hips. So draw the left hip socket back and the right forward. So we've got this active stance. And open the chest. Exhale, palms go to the floor, left leg back to meet right, downward facing dog. Keep pushing like we were doing before. Take a deep breath in. Now as you exhale, bring the weight forward, just kind of like a plank position, but then bring the knees, chest and chin down and the breath is fully out. Take an inhale and drop the bottom and scoop up to our cobra. Exhale, release, curl the toes under, hips go back up, downward dog. As we start the inhale, the left foot comes forward to the palms, lunge position, right knee down, again square and open the chest. Exhale, right foot forward to meet left, into our forward fold. Inhale, scoop the arms forward, up and back. Exhale, bring the palms to the center of the chest. Other side. Inhale, back bend. Exhale, fold. Again, knees bent. This time, inhale, step the left leg back, left knee down. Square the hips, pull this right hip socket back. Open the chest. Exhale, palms to the floor, right foot back, up to downward dog. One breath in. Exhale, shift the weight forward, push the ground so the shoulders are still active here. The knees, chest and chin come down. Inhale, glide through to cobra. Exhale, release, curl the toes under, hips go high. Start the inhale, this time right foot comes forward to the palms. Now lunge position, again square the hips. Exhale, left foot forward to meet right, forward fold. Inhale, scoop the arms forward, up and back. Exhale, palms to chest. We'll continue moving like that. Now one breath each movement, so we'll go a little bit faster this time. One breath cycle just to center again. And together we'll take a breath in. And out, fold. Right leg back, inhale. Open the chest. Exhale, palms down, left foot back, down dog. Breath in, stay here. Exhale, move forward, knees, chest and chin down. Inhale, glide through, cobra. Exhale, release, curl the toes, back up to down dog. Start the inhale, left foot forward, right knee down, open the chest. Exhale, palms down towards the ground, forward fold. Inhale, scoop the arms, gentle back bend. Exhale, palms into the center of the chest. Other side. Inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale, left leg back. Open the chest. Keep squaring the hips. Exhale, plant the palms, right foot back to meet left. Breath in. Exhale, let it go. And shift the weight forward. Knees, chest and chin down. Inhale, glide through. Exhale, release, curl the toes, hips go high. Start the inhale, right foot forward, Open the chest. Exhale, plant the palms. Head towards the feet. Forward fold. Inhale, glide the arms forward, up and back. Exhale, palm to chest. We'll keep moving. This time feel free to close your eyes and really follow your own breath. I'll just give some verbal cues, but feel free to use your own breathing as the guide here. When you're ready, in and out, fold. In, right leg back. Out, left leg back. Stay here, take a deep breath in. Exhale, shift the weight forward. In, glide through. Exhale, back up to down dog. In, left foot forward, square hips. And out, right foot forward. In, scoop the arms. And out, back to center. Keep moving the other side. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, left leg back. Exhale, palms come down, right foot back. Stay here, breath in. Exhale, bring the weight forward. Inhale, glide. Exhale, back up to down dog. Inhale, right foot forward. Exhale, left foot forward. Inhale, glide. Exhale, back to center. And we'll release and come to the center of your space and just close your eyes for a moment. Maybe catch your breath, because that can be one that warms us up. And if it hasn't warmed us up, pause and go back and do it again. And we'll just recenter. Deep belly breaths again. To set up for our next postures, which will be our balance. So we really want to find a bit of a stable breath before we do that. Roll the shoulders. Okay, so we'll set up now when you're ready for our balance posture. So we'll start with our tree pose. We'll spread the toes nice and wide. Feet can be either together or just under hip width apart, just depends on your body. So see what works best for you. But take your weight onto your right foot, peel the left foot off the ground, and then place that left foot anywhere on the inside of the right except for the knee. So anywhere up through here, down a little bit further, or just on the side of the calf, or even on the floor. And we'll hug the lower ribs in, so we've got that activation again. Take a breath in, palms come to the center. Exhale, keep drawing in, and we'll lift our arms up to our tree pose. From here, we'll keep moving, so it's a bit of a moving flow with our balance today. We'll kick that right foot forward, bend into the left leg and drop the arms down, and kick the heel forward, toes directly up towards the ceiling. From here, we'll take an inhale up to straighten that standing leg. Exhale, bend the knee, and I'm just going to face this way. You can stay where you are. But from here again, we'll kick the right heel back towards the back of our room, wherever you're set up. And we'll keep the hips squared, so we're not opening up, but keeping that down. Toes are nice and turned down towards the floor. Keep breathing. Take a breath in. And then as you exhale, keep drawing in the lower ribs and float the arms up to our warrior three posture. So we're nice and lengthened in the spine here, but really active through the core. One more breath, you've got it. And then as you exhale with control, come back to center. Not done yet, but feel free to have a rest if you need to. And take a hold of the back of the leg with with your left arm, depending on which side you're facing. Stand up nice and tall. Reset again, so the pelvis is kind of tipping upwards. So we've got that core active. Breath in. Kick the foot out a little bit. And then as you exhale, continue on to dancer's pose. So shoulders are nice and away from the ears. When we start to get into a challenging pose, the tendency is that our shoulders want to come up to help us breathe, but remember, we want to breathe into the belly instead. Keep breathing. And then exhale with control. Come off that foot, and shake it out. Nice work. On to the other side. So reset the weight, active through the legs, and then peel your right foot off the ground, coming onto the left. And place that foot anywhere that feels comfortable except the knee. Together we'll take an inhale. Palms come to the center. Hug the lower ribs in. And then exhale, float the arms up to our tree branches. Inhale, bring the knee in through the center. Bend through that standing leg and float the arms down. But keep drawing downwards so you've got still this activation in the back of the shoulders pulling down here. Then as you exhale, kick that foot forward. Toes nice and flexed. Inhale, straighten the standing leg. Exhale, bend into that leg. And I'll turn again this way so that we can continue on that leg kicking back behind us. Just going to move into my mat a little bit. Keep this activation of the core. So we've got this column happening basically all through the back, so don't open this hip, but keep dropping it. You might bend in that standing leg depending on how your hip feels. And keep pulling the arms back. Find a place that to look at that's stationary. Take a deep breath in. Then as we exhale, we'll reach the arms forward, or you might stay there today, depending on how you're feeling, and hug in the lower ribs. That's where our balance comes from, our core. Breath in, and exhale, come towards the center. Feel free to rest that foot if you need to, but if you can with control, take a hold of the leg that's up. Inhale, lengthen the spine, and kick the foot slightly back as we continue with our exhale into dancer's pose. Keep breathing, you've got it. If you've happened to fallen out of this, that's totally cool. Just come back to your breath, and then find your variation for this pose. With control, exhale. Let it go. And circle it around. Excellent. So from here we'll come down towards the ground. So onto our kneeling, and nice and parallel with the hips here. So knees are directly below the hips, and then the feet follow back. We'll inhale, place the palms on the lower back, and then again draw lower ribs towards the top of the pelvis and pelvis up as well. Inhale, open the chest. And as you exhale, take the hips forward and start to open the chest further. Now, deep breaths will be difficult in this position, and that's fine. So keep it shallow, but keep them equal on the in and the out. And if it's available for you, depending on what time of the day you're doing this, reach back a little bit further onto the heels and take a hold. Couple more breaths in and out. And then your next exhalation, bring the palms back to the lower back, and then sit forward into our child's pose. Release the head onto the floor. When you breath in, feel the whole back of the rib cage here. And then when you're ready, we'll come onto our belly. So legs are still parallel with the ground here, and we'll set up for our Sphinx pose. So as we start this pose, the palms are kind of in line with the face. As we inhale, we'll float the palms up and lift the chest just a little bit off the ground, and the neck and the chin's tucked into the neck so it's not cranking up. And then as we exhale, we'll glide the arms forward so that our elbows are just below our shoulders, and we'll lift up from here. Again, the neck's not cranked up, but looking kind of ahead at your eye level in this position. Take a deep breath in together, stay here. Now as you exhale again, draw the lower ribs towards the pelvis. And see how that kind of activates through the core a little bit more. One more breath cycle in and out. On your exhalation, draw back. This time we'll try that again, but if you didn't already do so, bring the feet touching together, and we'll point our toes so we can practice for our floor drill. Inhale, float up. Exhale, glide forward into Sphinx. Keep breathing, hugging in the lower ribs. One more breath cycle in and out, and we rest on one side. Let the shoulders go again, let the feet do whatever they need to, and we'll catch our breath. Excellent. Come back to center, so rest the forehead back onto the mat in front of you, and we'll find our feet. So if that's not available, feel free to just keep the feet together and clasp the hands together behind you at the lower back. Otherwise, find your feet. And once more, we'll pull the shoulder blades away from the ears. So we've got a nice long neck. As we inhale, we'll start to lift up in the chest. And then as we exhale, kick the legs back into your hands to lift into our bow position. Now, if you're experiencing any discomfort in your knee, come back down, lower your grip onto the ankles and flex the feet, and then lift up. A couple of breath cycles here. Nice active one for the back. One more breath in. Then exhale, release. Other cheek onto the ground. A quick rest. Deep breath into the back of the rib cage. Wonderful. From here we'll bring our palms next to our chest, curl the toes, back toes under. Now we're going to get ready to go into the top of a push-up, but find our strength. So tone the quads, belly into the spine, shoulders away from the ears. Take a deep breath in, stay here. As we exhale up to a push-up position. Nice work, everyone. From here we'll lift our left leg just slightly off the ground and then tuck it into the chest to bring it into our king pigeon pose. Now in this posture, draw the left, if you've got the left leg in front, draw the left hip back and the right hip forward. So you've got this again squaring off. Might bring you up a little bit, that's fine. And then we'll slowly come down to a place where your breathing is not restricted. So if you're finding that you can't relax that hip, you want to just really visualize everything being really soft around the hip. If that's a struggle, then come back a bit until your breath can be just normal basically, but deep as well. Sometimes it can be good to close your eyes and just relax your head. So you can just picture that hip softening towards the ground. Keep breathing here. That's probably the most important thing in this position that can often make us want to tense up. Wherever you are, if you're down here, come back up to the palms. Activate through the core, so rib cage hugged in. Curl the back foot under, and we'll go back up to our plank position for our other side. So right leg comes up, into the front, and we're in our extended king pigeon pose. Once you've got a spot that feels good, and one side might feel really tight, so this side for me feels quite tight. It can be really helpful if you've got one to grab a cushion, so I'm going to go ahead and grab my cushion. And to sit off, just so that it can actually passively stretch rather than actively clench. That can be the challenge in this posture. Sit up nice and tall. And then keep breathing and follow your breath to a spot that feels comfortable on this side. Close the eyes and relax the head. And keep directing the breath to that hip. And then when you feel like that hip is relaxed, the next breath in and out, let it relax even further. And wherever you are, we'll slowly make our way back up. Palms come up. Move your cushion if you've got it. And curl the back foot under. We'll go back up to downward dog this time. From here, we'll inhale, bring the left heel up towards the ceiling, but keep the toes turned down. And then as we exhale, we'll shift the weight forward and come to a lunge position. So keeping the back knee off the ground this time. From here, we'll again square the hips, so draw the left hip bone back, or thigh bone I should say. And we'll come up to a higher lunge, so we'll bring our arms up, but to do so we'll draw belly button to spine, so we've got a core lifting up rather than a swinging up of the spine. From here we'll keep squaring in through the hips, so that might mean you bend that back knee to bring the hips under, and then again bringing that rib cage down. Together we'll inhale, straighten, not too fully though. Then we'll exhale, sit further into that lunge, but again square the hips and kick the heel back to straighten the back leg. Once more, inhale, lift. And as we do so, we'll just inch that front foot a little bit further out, so we're getting a little bit deeper into this lunge. Square the hips again, come down, keep that back knee bent for now. Take a deep breath in. This might feel a little bit shaky, but you've got it. And then exhale, keep kicking that heel back to find some more strength. Keep active in the core. One more time, up. Inch that foot forward and keep bending through lower lunge. Once you find that you need a bit of a rest, bring the palms to the ground. And we'll keep that back toe curled under. So we're going to go into the splits from here, but we'll keep that toe curled under just for as long as possible. And this is a little bit difficult on my mat here, but basically just scooch that right foot forward until you're eventually in a position where you can bring and release that back foot into your splits. Now, because we're physie girls, we'll point our toes in this position. And again, this is quite an active posture as well. So wrap the lower right ribs under and forward and the left back, so we're sitting up nice and tall. Keep breathing, that's the most important thing. You might be up a little bit further, and again, it can be good to place a pillow or something under here if you've got tight hamstrings or are feeling quite a lot of pain in this position. But listen to your own body. Listen to where your breath is guiding you. You might have that back knee bent just as you work to open it out, and keep breathing. Together we'll take a deep breath, lengthen the spine towards the ceiling. Then exhale, sit off that left hip and close the legs back to center. From here we'll go on to the other side. So come back to your downward dog. Lift that right knee through and square the hips. Belly to spine, will inhale, lengthen. Keep breathing. Bend that back knee to bring our left hip under this time and hug the lower ribs in. And as you exhale, kick that left heel back into the back of the room. Inhale to come up and slide that foot slightly forward. Exhale, keep that squaring of the hips happening and come back down to a lunge. Left heel is really active, kicking back in this position. One more time, inhale, come up. Exhale, walk that foot forward. Keep holding, keep breathing. And then with grace, we'll bring the palms towards the floor and slide our feet forward and back. So the right foot's going forward. Keep that back toe turned under as long as possible until you come towards the ground, or if you have a pillow under you, to come into our splits. Again, this time wrap the left lower rib cage to the front and the right one towards the back, so we're squaring into our hips again. Nice and tall, shoulders away from the ears, and keep breathing. And we'll scoop that left leg around, leaning off onto the right, and we'll come back to the center. And hug in for a moment. Let the shoulders come forward. Here we'll open up into our straddle position. Let me just move back a bit. So open up like we do in floor drill, but we'll keep the feet flexed, and this isn't going to be a really wide straddle because we want to be able to turn over towards our feet, so you might come out of it a little bit, so a bit more of a shallow V. We'll inhale, lengthen the spine, and we'll twist towards your right. Now as you exhale, glide the arms forward along the legs, but aim for the head and neck to come down last. So your aim is for your belly to come to your thighs first. And keep gliding to a place that, again, your breath can be nice and whole and deep in this position. And then once you've found a good position that works for you today, relax the head forward. But still keep that space between the shoulders and the ears. Inhale just to look up at the foot that's in front. Exhale back to center. Inhale, we'll open up and twist onto the other side. So the twist is really coming from the lower belly, and the rib cage is is following last. We're not cranking with our hands. And exhale, glide the arms forward, belly comes towards the thigh. And keep pushing into that left or your right hip if you're following me like a mirror. Until you're in a position where you can breathe fully, and then relax your head. Inhale to look up at that foot. Exhale back to center. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Sit up nice and tall, sit bones into the ground, and keep aiming for your sit bones to stay into the ground as you're inching forward. So walk the palms forward. And that might not mean that you're flat on the ground. So what we want to aim for is, again, belly towards the ground here rather than our forehead, and we're curling over. So that might mean you're on your elbows. It might mean you're on your palms. So you can breathe naturally. And then again, find a nice relaxed position for the head. Couple of breath cycles as we come towards the end of our practice. Inhale, push up halfway, and then we'll exhale, come back to center, and we'll come towards the end, lying on our backs. And we'll go for our happy baby posture. So if you're lying on your back, we'll pick the legs up towards the ceiling and scoop the tailbone under. So nice long spine along the ground, and you might take hold of your feet either on the inside or the outside, but as long as the shoulders are nice and relaxed towards the ground. Really bend the knees in towards the outside of the chest, and then rock side to side. You might straighten and bend one leg and the other. It can be quite a fun posture. Move it around. Keep breathing, and then we'll bring our feet together. Keep the legs nice and bent, and flex the feet back hard. Palms come towards the floor and lengthen the shoulders down. Draw the belly button to the spine, and then as you exhale, with control, we'll go down together. So for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release. And find your final place of rest here. Again, draw the shoulder blades down. Wash the feet. And close your eyes. Return to that breath, that belly breathing. And thank yourself for actually doing this full practice, because it had some challenging moments through there, but you breathed through it. This can be a good one to come back to regularly, because it's a bit of strength and length throughout the practice. And as we're settled in here, we let everything that we've gone through in today's stretching settle in and hopefully make us feel nice and strong, but at the same time relaxed. Feel free to stay here for as long as you need to. And thank you for letting me take you through this practice. Much appreciated. See you guys.